Good morning, my dear students. I hope so far you have understood the different industrial products we have discussed in the previous lessons. Today we have the another topic here is enzyme production. So let us see the learning outcomes of this topic. State the enzyme kinetics, methods of enzyme production, extend comprehensive knowledge about media constants, formulations and microbial growth, to demonstrate about concept and criteria of scale-up of production of amylase enzyme production, and to gain knowledge about the enzyme process, economic and production process. The main topics to be covered here is the practical and industrial use of enzymes derived from microorganisms. And we know that enzymes are obtained from animal tissues, plants, bacteria and fungi, including yeast. The bulk of enzymes, both in terms of quantity and variety, are derived from microorganisms, higher plants being the distant second and animals being the least important. The only animal enzyme to be produced in quantities greater than 2 tons per year is rennet or chymosin obtained from calf stomach. The bulk of plant enzymes are hydrolytic enzymes. And the species that they produce these enzymes, processes for the isolation and utilization of different microbial enzymes, uses of these enzymes in pharmaceuticals, foods, leather, detergents, textiles and cosmetics. So enzymes are basically biocatalysts that are specific in their action and substrate. All of them when purified are protein in nature. But we know that all proteins are enzymes, but all enzymes are not proteins. They undergo specific reactions but are never consumed in the reaction. Apart from cellular activities, enzymes have been practically applied to many industries that dates back many centuries. Originated with alcoholic fermentation, proceed with production of pharmaceuticals, food additives, enzymes and chemicals were developed. Dr. Jokichi Takemine was the first to realize the technical possibility of cultivated enzymes and to introduce them to industry. Enzymes are macromolecular biological catalysts. They accelerate or catalyze chemical reactions. The molecules at the beginning of the process are called substrates, and the enzyme converts these into different molecules called as the products. So microbial enzymes are the biological catalysts for the biochemical reactions leading to microbial growth and respiration, as well as to the formation of fermentation products. So what are the methods used in the enzyme production? Semi-solid culture and submerged culture. So enzymes which are produced by semi-solid culture are alpha amylase, that is a microorganism is the Aspergillus oryzae. Glucoamylase, Rhizopus species, lactase, Aspergillus oryzae, pectinase, Aspergillus niger, protease, Aspergillus niger and Aspergillus oryzae, rennet, Mucobacillus. So some commercial enzymes and their source of microorganisms. So you see fungal, these are enzymes are amylases, and microorganisms mostly is Aspergillus species. Coming to the bacterial, this is amylases, proteases, pectinases, penicillinases. So all are by Bacillus subtilis. Coming to the yeast, invertase, lactases. So this is the Saccharomyces species. So enzymes have been used for 1,000 years as crude and animal plant preparations or as a whole microorganisms which were allowed to grow on substrates. The industrial Production of enzymes dates back to 1894 when fungal Tarka vistas was marked for pharmaceutical use. Initially, these enzymes were produced by solid-state fermentation, which is still used in Japan. A number of enzymes are produced on large scale and are used in commercial operations. Of these, Bacillus protease, glucoamylase, and amylase are produced in the largest quantities. In addition, a large number of enzymes are produced on much smaller scales and mainly they are used for the research. How the strain improvement is done? Usually, enzyme yield can be increased careful selection of the organism, improvements in fermentation process, strain development and refinement of downstream processing. The use of the product and the conditions under which it is to be used will dictate the choice of organism and the product purity. Ultimate object of strain improvement is to obtain regulatory mutants for the concerned enzyme so that its production is no more subject to the normal regulation. When immobilized cells are to be used, cell lysis must be absent and all the enzymes should be retained within the cells. Coming to the fermentation, here inoculum is developed in several stages as in the case with other fermentations. The organism may then be multiplied in one or more seed tank stages. The medium used for this stage is rather rich to support the good growth. The seed tank culture is finally inoculated. The production stage fermenter. You can see here the production medium is almost complex and is devised to maximize yields of the enzyme. Here the appropriate measures must be employed to ensure contamination control. Biomass of the organism begins to increase early during fermentation. While enzyme activity shows significant increase about midway through the fermentation. The end of fermentation is signaled by cessation of enzyme synthesis. Now coming to the isolation and purification. Isolation and purification is usually done immediately after termination of fermentation in a manner that retains the enzyme activity. If the cells are to be used for immobilization, the biomass is isolated and treated to make it ready for use. The extracellular enzymes are recovered directly from broth, while enzymes localized within the cells are isolated by rupturing the cells. Enzyme purification is based on various techniques whose efficacy and cost differ widely. The process used will mainly depend on the purity needed and the cost that is acceptable. Let us see one of the enzyme production is the amylase. And this enzyme is an endohydrolase and we know that it hydrolyzes starch into components. So it's an enzyme that catalyzes the hydrolysis of starch into sugars. And this is present in the saliva of humans. Hydrolysis of starch with amylase was first result in the formation of a short polymer dextrin and then the disaccharide maltose and finally is a glucose. And glucose is not as sweet as fructose. Thus, the second step would be the conversion of glucose to fructose by the enzyme glucose isomerase. See how this chopping into the smaller pieces. So, glucose molecules, how the amylase is acting on that. So, what are the types of amylases? We have here the three types of amylases: alpha amylase, beta amylase and the gamma amylase. So based on how they break down the starch molecules, they are divided into three types. Coming to the alpha amylase is also called as 1,4-alpha-D-glucan gluconohydrolase and calcium metalloenzymes which cannot function in absence of calcium ions. This alpha amylase breaks down long carbohydrate chains of amylase and amylopectin. Amylose is broken down to yield maltotriose and maltose molecules. Amylopectin is break down to yield limit dextrin and glucose molecules. And mostly this is found in saliva and pancreas, found in plants, fungi and bacteria. Because it can act anywhere on the substrate, alpha amylase tends to be faster acting than beta amylase. In animals, it is a major digestive enzyme and its optimum pH is 6.7 to 7.0. Coming to the beta amylase, is also called as 1,4-alpha-D-glucan maltohydrolase, synthesized by bacteria, fungi and plants, and working from the non-reducing end, beta amylase catalyzes the hydrolysis of the second alpha-1,4 glycosidic bond, cleaving up to glucose units at a time. During the ripening of fruit, beta amylase breaks starch into maltose, resulting in the sweet flavor of ripe fruit. And the optimum pH for beta amylase is 4.0 to 5.0. The last is the gamma amylase. It is also termed as glucan 1,4-alpha glucosidase. It cleaves alpha-1,6 glycosidic linkages as well as the last alpha-1,4 glycosidic linkages at the non-reducing end of amylase and amylopectin yielding glucose. The gamma amylase has most acidic optimum pH of all amylases because it is most active around pH 3. So, effects of a alpha amylase. You know here, this enzyme, as it is said, it hydrolyzes when fragments with 2,6-glucose units remain. And the end products of starch hydrolysis are dextrins, which are used as a adhesive and thickening agents in prepared food. Alpha amylase must be used at high temperatures. The enzyme from Bacillus lyconiformis can be used for prolonged periods of 95 degrees centigrade and for a brief period at 105 to 110 degrees centigrade. So as I said, it is a starch liquefying, break down the starch polymer but does not give free sugar. Whether as in saccharogenic, it gives free sugars. And as I told you, it is the Bacillus species and fungi is the Aspergillus niger, Rhizopenicillium, Cephalosporin, Mucor, Candida, etc. So before going into the applications of industrial amylases, let us see here how the fermentation here carried out for 5 days. Then the broth is chilled and the cells and solids are removed by propylation. Usually this alpha enzyme is extracellular and is recovered from broth. It is always stabilized with calcium ions. And coming to the applications, so it is used in the dextrin production, that is the textiles, starch, syrups, laundry and dishwashing detergents, paper designing and in the fermentation. So, and is also used to the final slurry is reheated and about 120 degrees centigrade. Acid may be added to inactivate the enzyme. And it is a typically starch hydrolysis. 40% of starch slurry is heated at 105 to 100 degrees centigrade, to which thermostable enzyme is added. And coming to the beta amylase, it is used in brewing and maltose syrup. Gamma amylase is manufacture of dextrose syrup and high fructose syrup production. So, on the whole, it has the production of sweeteners for the food industry, removal of starch sizing from woven cloth, liquefaction of starch paste which are formed during the heating steps in the manufacture of corn and chocolate syrups, production of bread and removal of food spots in the dry cleaning industry, where amylase works in conjunction with protease enzymes. Coming to the conclusion of it, nowadays these enzymes are used for various reactions because they are biodegradable and can be produced using biological sources. Amylases catalyzes the hydrolysis of starch into sugar. It has various applications like production of fructose syrups, safe detergents, baked products. So for better knowledge and more understanding, you can go through the references given here.